Welcome to an episode of Road to Criterion Complete. This week I picked up two new titles that came out. Well, technically three titles, two spines, and they are two films by Edward Yang, spine number 1275, and then I picked up Shoeshine on 4K, spine number 1272. Now, the two films by Edward Yang only came out in Blu-ray DVD, whereas Shoeshine came out only on 4K and Blu-ray, which again is one of those things I really don't understand why Criterion does. Some releases 4K Blu-ray only and other releases Blu-ray DVD only. I feel like if you're going to go through the process of releasing a film on 4K and Blu-ray, why not give it a DVD release? And then if you're going to release some films on Blu-ray and DVD, like, why? I don't understand. Like, I understand why they don't do certain films in 4K. It has a lot to do with just the fact of, is it going to be beneficial to spend an extra money to get a 4K if that's something people aren't going to buy? Like, if they think it's not going to be marketable enough for a 4K. I get that. But if you're making 4Ks, why not make DVDs? I mean, I don't personally care because I buy 4Ks, or if the 4K is not available, I'll buy the Blu-ray. I don't buy DVDs, the newer DVD titles. I do buy some titles on DVD in the Criterion collection, which you can see I own quite a few DVDs in the collection, part of which is because some of the films never got a Blu-ray release or 4K release, or at least didn't get it when I was buying them, and others because some of the DVDs I bought, I got them for really cheap in comparison for a Criterion. Like, I picked up some DVDs to use movie store for like $5 a pop on Criterion. Apparently they bought somebody's entire Criterion collection now, apparently. So I ended up going up there, and I remember the one day, man, they had so many Criterions for like $5, $10. I bought literally an entire box at one point of just a box full of Criterions. We're talking probably 70, 80 titles at one point. And the guy gave me a really good deal on them. Plus, I had some trade-ins from what I bought out. I have like over 11,000 films in my collection. So prior to becoming Criterion Complete, I was just buying massive amount of films of various different genres and things of that nature. But I also kind of, for a while there, was buying out people's collections that they were selling on like Facebook Marketplace. I bought out so many people's collections. Some of the stuff I ended up just reselling if I didn't need it. Because I ended up finding a lot of like rare movies. I found that if you bought out entire collections, people had a lot of out-of-print films they didn't know were out of print. So I remember one guy sold me like 250 movies with a couple of DVD series in there for like $20. And he had like 3 or 4 out-of-print movies in there and an out-of-print series of like Zoe 101. Which sold online for like $50 a season, and I paid $20 for all 4 seasons or 5 seasons, whatever it was, and like 240 titles, 245 titles. Anyway, long story short, I bought a bunch of DVDs, selling a bunch of stuff out, and I had some credits. I got a bunch of the DVDs, but usually I try to buy the higher quality. But moving on with the whole point, this week I only picked up 2 films. That being 3 films technically. This is 2 films by Edward Yang. So first up we have Shoeshine, which is an international breakthrough for neorealism, an Academy Award-winning film with an incredible fable of innocence lost. So pretty much it's 2 young friends who start shining shoes to save money to buy a horse. When a robbery gone wrong, they end up having to go to prison. And it's pretty much a insightful look at their innocence lost and what they have to, and their testament of their friendship, as they see the gritty reality of prison behind bars, especially from the viewpoint of youth. I had not seen this film, although I am looking forward to watching this one. Definitely sounds like a very intriguing watch. One we'll probably cover on the Criterion Corner podcast sooner rather than later. Definitely looking forward to checking that one out. And then the next film we got is the 2 films by Edward Yang, which is a Confusion and Mahajung, I think it's pronounced. Films are actually by the same filmmaker who did 2 other films in the collection, one of which was A Brighter Summer Day, and the other being Ya Ya, which I actually own. Yeah. A Brighter Summer Day I don't actually own, but I remember I can picture the cover art with the like outfit on the front. And I remember, I don't remember what the film was about, but I remember really wanting to see it. That being on my watch list or my films to pick up. So this is more of those kind of sharp satire like comedies that take place at the end of the 20th century and kind of give a more lighter, no less mastery touch of his explorations of human relationships. So I'm looking forward to watching these. Again, probably will cover those on the Criterion Corner podcast. I'm thinking maybe February. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for daily content on film and movie talk. And we'll see you next week as we continue the journey to becoming Criterion Complete. And if you don't already, check out the Criterion Corner podcast. Each week we do a deep dive into the film from the Criterion Collection. This past week we covered Personal Shopper. Next week we are covering High and Low. And then, as I said, September we're covering our coming of age month. And maybe even throwing in a special guest episode.